Hey, is there anybody out there? It's Ron from Ron's Basement. Thank you for joining me today. This is my first time live streaming, and I apologize that you are suffering through the learning curve with me. So if there's anybody out there, I'm going to hang around for at least 15 or 20 minutes and see if I can answer some questions, maybe have some discussion. And the initial live stream I tried to set up through YouTube, it's a little more complicated than I thought. So again, I apologize in advance to anyone. I made a video this morning about of course, the gold and silver market, the fact that gold and silver are becoming increasingly more difficult to locate for the mining companies. And you can go to the channel and watch that if you like, but I don't hear, we don't talk about that quite as much as I think we might benefit from doing. The fact that gold and silver, if you hear any of these mining company executives talk about it, it's like it's becoming harder and harder for them to find. Please say something in the chat. Just say hello. There may be nobody out there to say hello back. See how this camera's doing. I promise I actually tried last night to kind of rehearse this, but whew, I heard somebody say that when you're doing a live chat, if you think it can go wrong, it will go wrong. And let's see here. Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. Young at heart. Well, maybe the one person who had joined is now no longer with us. Let's see what else we got here. Docs. Oh, here's stats. Recording, disk and memory usage, skip frames. Okay. Oh, darling. Well, maybe a live chat wasn't such a great idea after all. Is there anybody out there? If you're out there and you are chatting or making comments, I can't see them. So anyway, participants. Just me. All right. Hey, Shay. Thanks for joining me. It's me and you, Tim. Well, heck, I thought I was just going to sit down here by myself. Hi, everybody. Great to see you. I apologize. I had some technical difficulties. I really did. Of course, it was more complicated, and I don't know if you experienced this, but like once I get to thinking that it's complicated, it becomes even more complicated. So good morning, Timothy and Shay. Let me read your question, Shay. But miners are not reacting to near 2,000 gold price at present time. That will, what will it take to get the sector turned around? Well, and I actually made a video this morning that I'm going to post either later today or tomorrow. The senior producers have somewhat, to a pretty significant extent, have begun to react to the higher gold price. And the mid-sized producers, companies like one that I follow closely, Equinox Gold and IAM Gold, some of the more mid-level producers, their prices have done pretty well. They're not great. But traditionally, when there's a bull market in precious metal mining stocks, from what I've witnessed and from what other knowledgeable people, more knowledgeable than me, have said, that what usually happens is the senior companies rally first, and then the mid-level, mid-sized companies, developers, producers, and finally the small junior mining stocks. The junior mining stocks have not. They're still in the toilet. So, the good news on that, in my opinion, is that what we're seeing this time is a more traditional, sustainable rally. At least it seems to be moving in that direction. Whereas what we saw in 2020, in kind of summer of 2020, when there was the quote-unquote the last rally that we had in precious metal mining stocks, the junior companies rallied first, and that's not traditionally, again, the way that the precious metal mining stocks rally. And when I think the juniors rallied first because they're the most speculative, risk on in the sector, and and at that point, kind of just after COVID and all that stimulus was put in place, there was a big push into risk-on assets. So, hopefully, as we move forward, we'll have a more solid, sustainable, traditional rally within the precious metals. I mean, the metals, I don't know, my gut just tells me, although my gut is sometimes very wrong, my gut just tells me that we're in for a sustained period of higher prices in the precious metals. Tim, I don't understand why the explorers have not benefited from any of the price moves. Well, again, I think that goes back to the fact that what they say, Tim, and I'm with you, right? I mean, I've got some Buxton Metals, an explorer. I've got this little Australian company, Fosterville, Explorer, and even some of the junior developers haven't moved. I mean, look at the ones I follow closely, Treasury Metals, they're near a 52-week low, and First Mining Gold, they're near a 52-week low. So, what we hope to see happen, and what traditionally has happened in the past, is that if we have this good bull market, they will be the last to rally, not opposite of what happened in 2020. The juniors will be the last to rally, but traditionally their rally is the most explosive of any of them. I hope that's the way it works out. I'm just going to check here 1 second. Oops. The other thing that I think is important to remember regarding the kind of the state of the miners right now is that, hey, they're not doing great, but at the same time, when you compare what the precious metal mining stocks have done overall in the past, let's say, 2 months, I think the Nasdaq's down almost 20%. I was looking at that last night. The Dow and the S&P are maybe more like 10%. And the miners have done pretty well. So I think, that's a positive factor that we can consider as we go forward. The other thing is, if you look back at history, even during, I'm not saying we're heading towards a Great Depression, we could go down that rabbit hole, but we all know the kind of the state of the economy and the macro factors that are involved right now. Even during the Great Depression, the gold mining stocks did, I think Homestake was the big company back then, did pretty darn well. Smitty says the common folks will flood to juniors. Yes. The other thing we need to remember is this is not a big market. When you take the market cap of all the junior gold mining and silver mining companies, like the total market cap, I think at one point there was the statistic that said like the total market cap of all the gold and silver mining companies was less than the cash balance that Apple Computer has on their balance sheet. So, and I've heard Rick Rule and several of these other guys say, when it doesn't take a lot of new interest in the sector, and then it becomes like trying to drain Hoover Dam through a garden hose. It's just, once there's a little bit of interest, a little improved interest, the market's so small that it can move quickly. And I think it's important to remember also that we've gone through, especially the last, maybe almost 2 years now, maybe a year and a half. I mean, we had that spike up in 2020, and then things just fell apart again for the mining stocks, and the sentiment, back in, I guess, December, maybe even January of this year, I heard a lot of people say, and I can tell you my opinion, is the sentiment was as bad or worse than it's ever been. Now, obviously that kind of stinks for our portfolio values, but from going forward, how much worse can the sentiment get? And, we all know there's a lot of factors that are going to be supportive of the price of precious metals going forward. So, I don't know if this makes any sense, but sentiment being so bad, I guess the silver lining is, hey, it can only get better from here. Tim says, after metals take off, I'd like to redistribute its profits into good dividend-paying stocks that have survivability in a collapsing economy. Can you put some good ones on your radar for that day? One that I mentioned earlier, and I don't make any financial recommendations. I know you all know that. I'm not an advisor, so just my opinions. But one that I kind of liked, and I got lucky, bought it, 5-6 weeks ago, and it's gone up maybe 10 or 15%, is Nokia. I like Nokia. They pay a dividend. And anyway, there's a video out there I made about Nokia. They are not a phone company anymore. They don't even make those phones. They license that out. They're an infrastructure play within the 5G kind of telecom arena, and I really like their CEO and their balance sheet. The other one is that I love Honda. Something you may not know about me, I love Honda cars, motorcycles, ATVs. I love Honda everything. Last night, one that I'm going to look at going forward, I'm not buying it yet, is Honda Motor Company, HMC. Again, they've got a strong balance sheet, great dividend, and great prospects going forward. And if I always share what I buy, so and why, and then people can do their own due diligence, or they can criticize me. I love criticism because obviously what I think in my head is right, but the only way I can learn is from hearing from other people. I don't know much about shipping companies, James. I'm sorry. When you say it can't get much worse, I don't know if you're talking about the gold and silver mining companies or the shipping companies. A few years back, I got interested in there was a Greek shipping company where the CEO was like totally diluting the stock over and over again. I forget the name of the company. But nonetheless, that's about all I know in terms of the shipping. I don't know much about shipping companies. I unfortunately can't help you there. Carl is talking to me from his attic. Well, hey, welcome to Carl's attic. We are all sitting in the driver's seat. Yep, I guess we are, right? You know? And yes, a couple people in the comment sections of my videos, and I actually had this idea too. I have a 2-story house, and every year I get up there. I have a very unique way of getting onto my roof. But when the price of gold and silver in these mining stocks goes from the basement through the roof, I will shoot a video from the roof. From the tip top of the roof. Thank you. It's a Brooks Brothers tie. And a Brooks Brothers shirt. Which I wear about once every year. So I'm wearing it for you guys today. And hey, I really appreciate everybody being here. Thank you. This is my first live stream. I had some technical difficulties, but I do appreciate you guys being here and putting up with me. We had some news. I'll just kind of ramble, and if you guys want to ask more questions, I'll obviously focus my attention on that. News yesterday, Fortuna Silver put out their production numbers. They were pretty good. Buxton Metals is a company that I follow and make videos on. One thing I'll say about Buxton, they're an explorer, and they're in the basement, right? Like, I can see the Buxton stock down here on the floor in my basement. Buxton has like 4 main projects, and now they have something going on at every one of their projects. They have Hog Heaven, which is being developed by I'm forgetting everything today. Ivanhoe Electric. They have their Atlan project that they just signed a partnership agreement on. The company is going to be exploring that up in the northern BC. And they have their Thorn project, which they're exploring on their own, massive gold, copper, porphyry, and gold deposit. Excuse me, I'm fighting some allergies. And now, just yesterday, they have a cobalt project in Ontario, and they're going to move forward with that cobalt, and they're going to be looking for nickel. They think there might be some nickel there. They know there's high-grade silver, but nickel as well. And nickel's kind of hot. So if you look at their 4 projects, they have 4 main projects. There's something going on in every single one of them right now. Hi, Tim. It would be good to learn more about the grades of metal deposits, as they are different as to what is good and what is bad. And James says platinum's cheap. I agree with you. I have a platinum ring here, a wedding ring on my finger, and I like to attract the market value of it. It's cheap. And I think it's Russia that develop, or that I was reading. I may have this wrong. I think platinum and palladium. Russia is a major supplier of those metals, and with all this Russia stuff going on, that from a supply-demand perspective, from a price perspective, that can only be a good thing. Obviously, we don't like war. It'd be good to learn more about the grades of metal deposits. They are so different as to what is good and what is bad. Yeah, I agree, Tim. That's something that I'm not a guru on. These companies can publish drill results, and there's a lot of other factors and variables that need to be considered when assessing whether drill results are quote-unquote good or bad. You can massage those numbers, from what I understand, to make, if we could go out and drill something in my backyard here in Missouri and probably come up with, some little segment of it that we could put out a headline, we found, whatever in Ron's backyard. There's the total drill hole, and then there's intervals, and like how many meters did they get this mineralization, and what's the metallurgy, right? Because sometimes they hit metal, silver or gold or whatever, but you can't even because of the way the metals are in there, it's very difficult to get them extracted. So it's there's a lot of factors and variables. I'm not a guru in that arena, but there is some good information. Brent Cook is a really nice guy, and I think he has some free information. I've emailed him, and he's emailed me back before. He's a no BS guy. He has a newsletter, but he's just a really good, down-to-earth, nice guy. You might ask him. He might be able to point you and us in a direction of where there's some good, like how to interpret drill results and what to look for in terms of BS. Any idea on royalty companies? No. Maybe I'm being stupid, which happens on a regular basis, but I've looked at royalty companies. I agree, that's just an awesome business model. I can be real cheap. I like to buy things when they're real cheap, and it seems like whenever I look at the royalty companies, they seem to be at or near their 52-week highs. It's a great business model, but I don't really obviously Wheaton is the biggest one, but I don't follow him close enough, and probably a mistake, to be quite honest with you, because I'm almost focused exclusively on producers, developers, and explorers. And that royalty model is really slick, the way that, there's very little risk, there's very little inflation risk. It's a good model. I'm not going to argue that point. Oh, you're welcome, Tim. I love Equinox. I'll mention this about Equinox Gold. I think one of the most important factors is not just inside ownership, but how much, any company can say, oh, we've got 10% inside ownership or whatever. To me, that's great. Don't get me wrong. But how much skin, how do I say this? Does the CEO, if a CEO has what I would say a significant portion of his personal net worth, his personal money in the company, that's more important to me than what the percentage of the company is that he owns. Excuse me, if that makes sense. Meaning, like with Equinox, I know that Christian Malau and Greg Smith, I've heard them both say that they have a significant amount of their personal net worth, capital, whatever you want to say it, invested in the company. And to me, that's just like a great, great thing. Obviously, Ross Beatty, who's I think just probably the coolest guy in this whole industry, owns 8% of the company, which is great. But he's a multi-billionaire, right? Christian and Greg, they probably own less than 1% each, right? But they're younger guys earlier in their career with less capital. They might have 50%, I don't know, of their net worth in the company. And to me, that's a good thing. Same thing with First Mining Gold. I know their CEO has said that, what his position in the company is very, very meaningful to him. Yeah, Michael Gentili is awesome. My video seems to have frozen. I hope you guys can still see me. I really like Michael Gentili. He just totally impresses me, and I think he might be a genius because I tend to agree with a lot of what he says. If anybody could comment, let me know if you can still, if I'm frozen. I'm frozen on my screen, but can you hear me? Hey Nathan, well great. Yep, I'll try to leave it up so you can take a look at it. Yeah, Michael Gentili. Hey Joda, thanks for your nice comment. And yeah, Equinox. I'm excited about Equinox. I'm going to keep going on about Sandstorm. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm jumping around here, but Sandstorm I know is a great royalty company. Royalty Maverick Metals. to play this back later. Any good listing classified different metal miners? Yeah, ain't that the truth? If you're getting hit over the head repeatedly, buy First Mining Gold. I'm frozen, but you can hear. All right, hey, I'm gonna see if make sure my camera's still on. Well, guys, I don't know what happened to the video. Welcome to Ron's basement. Anyway, yeah, Equinox. This Equinox, I think they're getting their act together in Mexico. That's awesome, and they have a potential for some major improvements at that mine. But they dealt with COVID, they dealt with blockades right after they bought it. I think Mexico looks good, and again, potential for great improvements. Brazil, they just turned on their new mine, and there's potential for organic benefits, economies of scale down there as well. I'm excited to see how that's going to play out. Obviously, they're building a big mine up in Canada, and they have some good future growth prospects in the United States as well. Different metal miners. Any question? Any good listing classification of different metals miners? I don't know what you mean by that question, Blaine, but always in the description of my videos, I do list the companies that I'm currently invested in, and I do keep that up to date. James, you get the funny joke of the day. If you like getting hit over the head, repeatedly buy FFMGS. Yeah, First Mining Gold. Well, I still love First Mining Gold, Michael Gentili owns a big chunk of their Newfoundland project that they've partnered with. I'm forgetting the name of the company. Big Ridge, I believe, mining. And there's just a lot. Treasury Metals looks awesome to me. Obviously, the Pickle Crow project with Autico. I don't know. You got a lot of cash. You got a lot of royalties. You got and then the Spring Pole project, 300,000 ounces with Steve Lines. That guy is very impressive. Heading that up, an expanded land package, a new exploration VP. I don't know. Dr. Freeze, yeah, that's me. Well, you're stuck looking at me. At least I'm not in a goofy position. Uranium, yep. First Majestic. Yeah, I like First Majestic. I don't own it, but I do believe in Keith Neumeyer, as a lot of other people do. Buy silver and platinum. Hey, Tim's up. Not sure about permitting risk here in Canada. We have a big election provincially in June. I may end up with voice into the government. It will be a big deal for the miners. Well, that's exciting. I wish you the best. I'm a fan of Timothy Zub. He's been around Ron's basement for a long time. He's gonna get his own golden chair down here at some point. 3M, a good buy. I own 3. No, I don't have an opinion on 3M. We just have that from decades ago, and it's a rather significant position. But if we sold it, there would be massive tax consequences. It pays a good dividend. I'm not a big fan of these 3Ms and General Electrics and AT&Ts of the world. And I'll tell you just simply why. When I look at their balance sheet, a lot of them have more debt on their books than they do assets. So it's like they're upside down. It'd be like you buying a car and having a 2-year-old GMC Denali or whatever the heck it is, and you're owing $40,000, but it only being worth $30,000. Some of these companies are upside down. So I wouldn't recommend 3M, although I do own it. Blue Lagoon. I don't know anything about Blue Lagoon. That movie? I'm sure it's a company, but anyway, I'll take a look at that and see if I have any ideas about Blue Lagoon. I don't know where to find developers who broke down by what they do. I can search by market cap, but that doesn't tell the tale. Blaine, there's a guy. What the heck is his name? He's active on Twitter. who keeps a great list of developers. I was so busy this morning I didn't see. I guess that's why gold went flying. The CPI was up 8.5%. I don't know anything about Rain of Silver. I do think inflation, it just seems like, and I'm not a big, one of these people that was warning crazily about inflation. I mean, you got to look at all the money that was printed. It's inevitable, right? They diluted the currency to a point, but now it seems like with the kind of the world geopolitical situation, it feels like to me inflation's going to keep kicking, keep going. My wife just went to the grocery store, so when she gets home, I'll give you an update on how food prices are here in St. Louis. Blue Lagoon, yeah, I know. All right, that's what I was thinking. Okay, yeah, Blue Lagoon was a movie with Brooke Shields. Yes, I think I'm 52. I think it was like right around the time I started to get interested in girls. I'll leave it at that. I remember being in my mom and dad's living room watching that on TV. Anyway, back to gold and silver mining. I wonder why my video went out. I assure you I still have all my clothes on. So I'll probably do this for about maybe another 10 minutes or so, unless the comments kind of dry up. And I wish I could figure out why Reyna goes down same as First Mining Gold. All right, I'll look them up. I'm gonna write that down tonight. Vizsla, I looked at them. That was like 2 or 3 months ago, and so I don't really have an up-to-date opinion. I liked them, but I didn't like them enough to buy it. I'm crazy. I bought the most recent silver stock I bought was America's Gold and Silver because I was very familiar with them, and got out, luckily, last year, a little over a year ago, around $2 a share, and I reestablished what I would say small position recently right around $1 a share. Their Mexican mine, I think that feels solid, and their big project up in Idaho feels solid, and there's always a chance that gold mine that they screwed up on. I mean, it's like, what else could go wrong for this company? I think I got to a point where I thought, I don't think anything else could go wrong. And I think Darren knows that he's standing on death ground. He better make some good numbers going forward. Fortitude, yeah, good company. Those guys, I was a Gold Resource Corporation investor. I don't own any gold resource, and then got really into Fortitude Gold and got very lucky and made a good little chunk of change on them and got out and have not been able to get back in. But I kind of follow them moderately still, and I believe I think it's Darren, and boy, they've got the best. Fortitude has one of the best investor relation guys you're ever going to meet. If you call him, he will call you back. Tim Zub, if we wake up one day with a crazy move or news, can you do another live stream as it unfolds? Yeah. Maybe I can get my camera to work. I get your words regarding juniors rallying last a month, but how do you explain zero market anticipation of saying First Mining Gold? Yeah, I have to admit, First Mining Gold, I still believe in the company. Rep. The junior developer sector the sentiment is crappy. Okay, on top of that, I believe there's a bias against First Mining Gold. The last 6-7 years, a lot of people bought the stock. It hasn't gone anywhere. I think an unfair bias against First Mining Gold. I think that they are doing some great things over the last 2 to 3 years, and that there's going to be some really great moves in them going forward. So I think they're getting hurt by the the crappy sentiment in the junior developer arena, plus double hurt because there's like a stigma around the company. And I think when it does change, it will move rapidly, even more rapidly than a lot of the other stocks. I could be wrong. Don't make any investment decisions based on what you're hearing here. Canada Silver and Cobalt, that may be, I don't know all these companies, guys, but I guess maybe that's a company name. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into them. I do know that Buxton has a silver cobalt project in Canada, if that makes any sense. Arcana is one that messed me up. Yeah, add it to the list, right? A few of these companies have really messed us up. Cisco, I'm sorry. I don't know much about them. I know their name and very little about the company. Gold silver ratio, I think it will close to 15-1. I hope so. I know it has traditionally gotten to that level at times, but yes, I do think that's possible. Do I think Treasury Metals has bottomed? I don't know. It could go lower. If it goes lower, I will, unless something changes, I will buy more. They just closed their $20 million financing deal with Sprott. I've warned before. I don't buy things because Sprott invests in them, because they invest in almost every company out there. But Pure Gold Mining. That was one about a year ago I got out of. And again, you can always see my up-to-date portfolio in the descriptions of my videos. Look at the most recent video, and look at the description, and I'll tell you what I own. Pure Gold Mining is, that's that's a black eye on the mining industry. I'll put it that way. Okay, Canada Silver and Cobalt, CCWOF. Awesome. So look that up. I think Cobalt has a bright future. All right, guys, we're probably going to wrap this up in about 5 minutes. I do appreciate everybody being here. My plan is to make this a Tuesday tradition, Tuesday at 10 o'clock St. Louis time, Central Standard Time. And lemonade sales were great, over 150 US dollars. Sold Firefox. I don't know Firefox, so I can't give you an opinion on that. But yeah, we did. And now we're looking into making fresh squeezed lemonade like you get at the state fair, with lemons and a 32-ounce cup. So we'll see how that goes. I have twin 10-year-old daughters. See if there's anything I wanted to cover. I actually had some notes. Dry cam. Yeah, the damn camera seems to be frozen. Hey, you're welcome, guys. I don't know Great Panther, but yeah, that's a great idea, Tim. Yes. Evansville, Indiana. Yep, I know that's not too far, like 2 or 3 hours from here. I've been there several times. Nice town. Yeah, Tim, I tell you what, I know you comment on videos. Yes. And then I'll kind of do my best to accumulate them, and that'll give me a little more structure. And I really appreciate everybody being here and watching my videos. I'm not sponsored or paid or by any companies to do it. I just like talking about the mining stocks in particular because it interests me, and I like interacting with people and getting your opinions. And so yeah, thank you guys for being here and being part of Ron's Basement. I don't know why. I wish I could figure out why the camera stopped. So I'm going to kind of stop the talking and see if I can figure out my camera. I'm planning on doing this next week. Again, Tuesday at 10 a.m. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Thanks for being here in my basement. I'll see you soon. If you want to send questions, you can leave them in the comment section of the most recent videos. That's what I would recommend for right now. I guess I can put my email address in the description as well. So I'm done, but I'm just trying to figure out what is going on with, I bet I know what's wrong. The camera. There it is. It's back. If anybody's still there, I got this nice deer head yesterday from my friend Ricky. Here's the basement, nice and dark. Hey, if anybody's still there, let me know if the video came back, please. You're very welcome, guys. Okay, cool. All right. Well, there's a video of the video. And there's me. I'm back. Yeah, I guess the webcam shut down. I had to restart it. So, all right, guys. Boy, I feel like I don't want to leave, but Tuesday next week at 10 o'clock, and I'll see you guys then, okay? Thanks again. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon.